But I'm going to try to see if that is the case. That seems to be it. Holy chipmunk. Oh, that's going to be funny if I sound like a chipmunk. It's going to be disastrous, but funny as all get out. Yeah, not sure why you guys are not hearing the audio from me as I am speaking. Not sure if it's something else to do with Beyond the Thing. I mean, isn't that always the fun here, whether or not we are having any issues or not? Gotta love it. So, hopefully we can get this resolved here. I do hope that chat can hear me. I am being invited to the lobby right now. So we are going to be loading ourselves on in. Yeah, all I can say is I hope things get resolved soon. I can do one other trick. I know I'm on a 2-minute delay, so chat, you're going to have to tell me if it works or not. So let's see if this does it. Pull that thing out and try to see what exactly is going on here. Do properties, switch that there. Once again, USB and chat. You gotta let me know within these 2 minutes. Can you or can you not hear me? This is gonna be very, very important to know. Alvin and the Chickmunks, how do you fix when? Yeah, I would love to know that myself, personally, because we are trying to do a bit of an extra stream option. So I hope this isn't just going to be a silent show, right? That would be very difficult, to say the least. Oh, we're working. Well, I messed with stuff while you guys weren't looking, so there is that. I'm glad to hear everything's working. Thank you, chat. This is the most, how would I describe it, as helpful chat I think I've ever had, honestly. No one's been able to assist me as quickly. Well, we'll get this rocky road on the go then, hopefully soon. Teams are just trying to get themselves loaded up here now, and we're going to be having a bit of a swap around here, so lo and behold, that I don't get sent in right away. But we never did talk about the second band. There it is. So let's give some visual here, right? So that way you guys can see what I'm seeing. As we're going to be taking a look at this to start, the first one here, or the second band, I should say, if I read that right. Yes, I did, which is an interesting selection, to say the least, as we're going to be seeing it here. We're still loading on in, so kind of a one-man show at the moment. So let's show these bands here, shall we? Coming in for Team Canada's band, you're going to be having Farah. And for the side of Nicaragua, it's going to be Cassidy. Now, I am very quiet, am I? Oh, that's just lovely. I don't know why that's the case, but I can turn myself up a bit. So, I don't want to blow out your guys' eardrums because I probably will get louder once we actually get into game. But again, very much appreciate the feedback, guys. So turn it on back over to me. It seems that we are ready to rock and roll. Let's send it right on in, shall we? Welcome to Coliseum. You're going to be seeing here Nicaragua on blue, while you're going to have Canada on red. 30 seconds for the setup with a 10-minute time bank for the push. Here's see what the teams are going to be rocking with here going into start. I mean, I've got my ideas here. Possibly going to be seeing a lot of poke or dive rather than brawl, especially into this map here. So, more than likely, a bit of a poker dive, looking at more Sig, Ram, if not Hazard and Winston. What do the teams bring for us? There you have it. You're going to be having that Sigma there to start it. And let's just get this microphone a wee bit closer, shall we? And the new character here being played by Respite. Going to be that Xion we're taking a look at. Very nice to see. Well, without further ado, game's afoot. And the players are going. Not quite going to be able to make that jump there, but matters not. Coming in for the side of Canada, on the other hand here. Trying their best to book it to point here. Speed is key, and we're going to be trying to see how this initial team fight starts here. Taking off of that angle there. Hero here looking for the Genji. Able to get that bubble in time, but the trap there could have been their demise. GM here trying to see if they can move forward with the Zarya beam. Has a lot of energy to work with. They're trying to play it defensively, and for good reason, as we're going to be seeing Hero finding Plata at the start. Coming in from behind there, Destroyer is going to be finding Geom, as that leaves just the DPS to try to pick things on up. Kiriko comes in, but there's not much left for them to do. So for your first fight here, you're going to have an immediate lead here for the side of Team Canada. This means that you're really going to have to try, for the side of Nicaragua here, to build up these ults very quickly. Again, I'm looking at Respite here. This Xion ult could be really crucial, especially if they can get the kill there. Not going to be able to find it as Destroyer falls back. Have a lot of pressure going on here. Zarya trying to play for their life, but still being forced out by the Mei, who's not feeling a whole lot of pressure until just now. As you're going to be seeing, down one, Canada's going to have to force to give a little bit of space here. If they can try to match up for the pick, they could bring things around. And that's where you have to really keep on top of this situation here. Going to be a look for the startup of these perks. See if they can try to build them up. Oh, and here we go. Ready for the startup here from Xion. The White Tiger is ready to be unleashed, but the Rock the cancel. Gonna shut him down with Destroyer there to follow it up. Gonna find the first, second, make that a third. That's gonna be a team kill for Team Canada. Still with 8 minutes on the clock here. Again, it's a very early time bank to work with here, and a good push to start things on up. They have a lot of pressure, and Destroyer looks to be a little hungry for more here. Going in with that overclock there. Now going to be having the Sig going into the air with Hero. Gets the slam. Not going to be able to find one, but Respite does go down to that overclock, so value was found. Now going to be looking for the turnaround here. It's going to be very important. Looking at Geom here. Has the play around the shield. Grab comes out. Looking to see if they can burst down the tank, but that's not going to be the case. Wizard comes on out, going to be seeing the freeze there, and it's pure chaos taken forth. Rock hits beautifully there, Genji is down and out, and they are still crumbling like a cookie. We have a bit of picks here and there, so Nicaragua could bring this back around if they play their hand right. But it's going to be very imperative for them to get these staggering picks as they're looking to escape. Guillaume does start to try to make that push, but stops after a little bit there. And you're just working underneath 7 minutes now. Close spawn has been awarded to the side of Canada here, as Nicaragua is looking to try to push things on back. Here comes the Kasune rush, and seeing if they can possibly look to pair it with Xion. Here it is! Jones going in with the Tiger Barrage, but not going to be able to find anything. The Mizuki out there with the Sanctuary to provide the help for the team. Wade coming in from above, but shut down by Destroyer. Yeah, Canada's doing a great job playing a reaction style game here to try to make sure that they do not allow for free use of these abilities. Oh, and a big takedown there against Flata. Respite going down as well. This leaves your tank here on Zarya, trying to see if they can back off, but they can live with this 100 injury. But no, not going to be the case there. Curse the Caster going to be taking them down. Point continues its push here, and if I'm Nicaragua right now, I'm thinking to myself, hey, we're having a bit of a rough time here. This is only the first round, a bit of a round robin, if you will, but we do want to try to put our best foot forward here. I think best case scenario here is if they might be looking to try to change the playstyle. I mean, they're very head-on with their approach here, and they like to take it full force this way. Big turnout there. You're going to be losing both DPS as well as the tank, leaving just the swords left standing. And now that's just going to be it. A team kill earned there by the side of Canada. Venture going in for the overtime touch right now. But Flux is in the air, looking to see if they can catch that Venture per chance. Gets it into the back there. Zarya's to the sky, but lives to tell the tale. Blizzard now going to be coming on out as they take them down one by one. And there you have it. Team Canada takes the first map. With your ending scoreboard here to view as well. And not surprising, play of the game going to be coming out from Destroyer. So, beautiful startup there to begin with, as we're going to be taking things back to the studio here. Now, I do see that people are saying still having some issues with audio. I do hope to fix that, hopefully. Not sure why I'm still on the quiet side here, but hopefully we'll get that fixed as we wait to go into our next game. I mean, all things considered, very much a strong startup here, taking a look at Team Canada being able to start things off with a 1-0 victory for the best of one. We're going to have to wish them luck as we will be heading to a break as we look to find out the next game that we will cover. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in just a moment. Alright, chat. For those of you that are still around, I've been instructed to switch things over to the other screen here. So, we're going to be doing a little bit of Inception here right now. A little bit of fun there. As we now have 3 layers of stream chat going on. So let's listen in on what's going on right now, shall we?
Goals? I could do... Oh, should I do 1 goal? Yeah, bro, we're gonna do 1 goal. Get a subscription. That's gonna be my goal. Sub goal started 1 sub.
Not quite what I would expect if I'm gonna be honest here, chat.
I need to run a 3-minute ad though in order to...
No, don't run ads! The Inception here, I mean, we're looking at Peru versus Costa Rica here.
I might run the auto ad.
And I mean, as it's currently standing, you're seeing Costa Rica is really doing a good job here for the push.
Add your snooze for 5 minutes.
Probably just having fun with their chat.
Oh, so now I've delayed it to 14 minutes. That might have been a bad idea.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Why is someone already being invited when they're in a Face-It game?
A blast learning. Oh, I got a drop. Look at that. I got a drop. Hey, you guys can get drops here, by the way.
Oh, you get drops on mine too,
oh,
but hey,
Costa Rica's
won't overly
swagging
do
out,
it.
actually.
Well, I think we've had a bit enough here as we're seeing that Costa Rica's really just gained a full sense all the way to the very end.
I just realized I don't need Overwatch anymore because I'm going to have my goat. So let's close that so that we can save some bandwidth.
Oh, there's still 5 minutes to work with here. But, no, some interesting stuff for sure, chat. As we're going to be looking to hopefully get into round 2 here. I am seeing word.
You guys having fun? I'm having so much fun. I'm learning so much.
You're learning. Man, I'm over here like, let's deep dive into this. All right, but enough of behind the scenes stuff, chat. We are going to be turning things right back to me here real quick, as our main goal is that we're going to be looking to go to the next set of maps. As I said, I've been informed that we are coming up to rounds 2 right now. If you do want to check out who won that match between Peru and Costa Rica, you got to be sure to give those streamers a look, all right? So, with that being said, I'm going to cut it back to break, and we'll get our next match here for a best of 3 started very, very soon. See you in a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. As we're going to turn it over to myself, yours truly here, we are now going to be going into round 2 here with Canada versus Colombia. This is going to be a best of 3 here. And after this, there are still 4 more additional rounds to come. So, this is only the start of a major onslaught that's going to be a lot of matches tonight, to tell you the least. Let's start here first by introducing the teams, shall we? Coming in from the favorites here for Team Canada, you're going to have the following 5. Hero, McMahon, Destroyer, Morlock, and Silence. And from their counterparts here, coming in from Colombia, Butcher, Cersei, Super Gomez, Mixv, and Kratos. We already do have a map 1 selection here, so let's take a look at what we've got. And it's going to be heading on over to Ilios right away. So definitely going to be looking forward to that. And we do already have our bands here locked in, ready to go. They are going to be the following. It is Wrecking Ball versus Farah is going to be the bands for map number 1. I could not tell you off the top who banned what to start, so I do apologize, chat, as I do not have that information for you readily on hand, but we'll probably try to figure things out as we go along here. I myself am already in the lobby. The teams are looking to get themselves ready to go, so it's only a matter of time. And once again, it seems like whenever I try to get these set up, they are just a little off. Just a little bit. But it's nothing too bad, as we are very excited to see how we have an actual match to start and work with will really develop. Given that we saw off of that Coliseum Sig, I would dare to say that Hero has a bit more in their repertoire that they'll be able to provide. As for Colombia here, a bit of a wild card, as you saw Butcher, very fitting name for a Roadhog player, but I would not expect Roadhog to be forcibly played, especially given in this current state of Overwatch. Not a great time for Roadhog, to say the least. Well, it seems that they're loaded up and they're going right on in. So without further ado, welcome to Oasis. Team's going to be starting it on up here, as we're going to be seeing it. And I hope everything sounds alright. I did do a quick check upon myself, and it seems that we're going to be having no issues from us here audio-wise. If I do sound quiet, please be sure to turn me up responsibly. Don't want to blow out your eardrums from being too loud. And by the way, the starter pack giveaway starts and will end in 30 minutes, so you better be sure to participate in it by joining discord.gg at Overwatch LATAM and going to the Sortos channel. I'm not sure I said that quite properly, but there is the link for those of you that do want to be involved with it, so be sure to give it a shot. Alright, without further ado, let's get this game ready to rock and roll here. Already going to be rolling on out here. You're going to be seeing Super Gomez with the initiative, as things are going to be starting on up here. Big shots coming on out. It's a huge wall there against the Sig. Sig very lucky to be alive, as Butcher's trying to see if they can push their way on in. Needs to be very careful not to get taken down themselves. Butcher playing for the life. Going to be able to play off the high ground here. It's going to be Team Canada that has to play it safe. Rotating down to the low ground with Super Gomez. Going to be the first one to fall. Big chain lockdown there going to be found onto Butcher. Butcher now not going to be able to live in time, as Cersei goes with him with the Kiriko. What a play! As we're going to be seeing there from Morlock. Big value off of that Mizuki. Canada's going to be starting it up here with the capture of point, as we're going to be seeing here. looking to see how Columbia could bring things on back. You do have that May there coming up onto the Blizzard. Cersei really has a good idea in the working here, but needs to play for their life. Having to force out that Ice Walk early does put them at a bit of a disadvantage, as you're going to be losing Super Gomez as well. Now you lose Cersei. Cersei going to be going down. It's going to spell disaster for Butcher as they lose team 1 by 1 here. Sports just barely able to get back into spawn. Canada here is relentless, and I mean, I don't blame them. You get to see the aggression, the passion, the effort they put into their fights. Oh, coming in for the Flux to the skies. Yes, you're going to be seeing one taken down. Super Gomez, once again, fallen victim. Cersei here going to be trying to see if they can even things on out with this Blizzard, but Blizzard not going to be able to amount to anything, unfortunately for them. Silent just barely able to stay alive, but does go down into the end, thanks to Mix, as the Lucio takes them out. And they're trying to see if they can make their way over to the backside of point here, but not going to be the case. They're playing a bit of a round robin here, going back and forth, tripping up their opponents. Oh, you're coming up onto a couple ults here from the side of Columbia, but Canada here is sitting pretty with Yuan going to be sitting on this overclock here. Oh, and here we go. The overclock has been activated. Looking for those shots. Need to connect them in time, but not going to. It's going to be a zoned play there. Good reaction by Columbia, but they are running out of time here as you're coming into the last seconds. Purple Rain coming in from the sky, but going to be blocked by the Sanctuary. It's an all or nothing here. Lucio coming in through the backline here. Does make the touch, but I don't think it's going to be enough. No siree. Canada takes round number 1. And thank you, Galactic, there for being able to help me out with the Discord stuff. Remember, from when I said it, you have under 30 minutes to get yourself into that Discord, registered, and signing on up for a chance to win a gift for a starter pack. I highly recommend it, as I myself constantly use the Battle Pass. So you'll definitely see me put in my own entry. That being said, here we are going to be going into round 2, and Canada is up 1-0 on the first map here. As we're just looking to see, definitely an interesting selection for the players here. McMahon's still in, but Yuan was the surprise substitute that I did not account for here. Nonetheless, teams are raring to go, and now going to be looking at a bit of a mirror match here, just slightly. McMahon going to be off the May onto Echo now. It's all going to be about control of the environment, as you're going to be seeing here between the high ground and low town. Tempo is extremely important. Rock just going to be missing its mark. Not a great spot there for Hero, as you're going to be seeing initial presence is on point with Columbia, but they need to maintain that presence, and that can be a bit difficult while you're trying to play for rotation. Hero, they're going to be able to find one, make that 2, and looking to hunt for more, mind you. As they're looking to get down Butcher, they do, and that is going to be a complete wipe there, except for Cersei, who does go down in the end. Yes, no Destroyer. I'm sorry, chat. They see these teams like to have me going thinking we have one set of players, but last minute they catch you by surprise. And you know what? It's all well and good. There's always a little bit of stuff going on here on the stream, but that's what makes it fun. Going to be an immediate takedown there. Super Gomez on the Reaper now. Big elimination there against Hero, as Yuan also falls. You see, they're trying to see if they can apply some pressure onto those last 2 players, and they do so successfully. Canada is forced to regroup. So, 28% to starting, 3% in counting here. Canada has their work cut out for them. As you're coming into perks now, you take a look, what is the best advantage for either side to try to fight on these angles here? I'm definitely keeping an eye on Butcher. I mean, Butcher is going to be having this Flux come up here. Very important. Big Rock going to be coming on out, but the Suzu there just in time, but it's not enough. It's going to be finding Big Man. Big Man going down to the ground as Silent goes with it. 6 foot under and a little bit deeper. And you're going to be seeing a scrappy fight take place here. Super Gomez going to have the assistance from Cersei there, who's able to get that freeze off. Super Gomez with the 2 picks and counting, as they now take the lead in percentage. Some big plays coming out from either side here as we're going to be seeing it fighting a little bit close to the sun, but I don't think they mind. Sound here has the Kusune Rush ready to work with here. Just needs the right timing to activate it because you have to be aware of that Reaper. That Reaper could get a lot of value here, but instead we're going to be seeing Hero coming in with the Flux. Slam comes down. Now going to be seeing Sanctuary, but the wall comes in to disrupt. Reaper seems to be trying to look for a play towards the back line here, and it's just pure chaos ensuing. There's Super Gomez, but not going to be able to make the play as they get chained and locked down. Despite the initial pushes here, you are even 1-1 here with people down from either side. Whoever's going to get this next pick is going to be able to get the momentum here. Hero, big block going to be started on up there. Look and see how they can duke it out with the tanks, and that's going to be the takedown from Yuan. Yuan going to be able to find two. Looking to see if they can finish off the third. No, sir, not going to be able to find it. Unfortunate for them, the Lucio gets away as well. That's just one, but two going to the wayside. Jericho really looking to see if a TP to save them, but not going to be finding it today, as Canada now turns it over. Oh, this is where you start to get that aggression again. The Canada's hospitality at its finest. Really putting in the work. Oh, what's this going on underneath? Wait a minute. Hold on. While we have the action here to the front line, take a look over here at Super Gomez from down under. Just waiting, biding their time. Oh no, here we go, coming in for the Death Blossom, more than likely needs to get into position and looking for a chance to activate, but instead gets taken on out. Silent there, reacting just as needed. Great reaction there by Silence to really shut down a possibility of play from the Reaper. You're now down to the last fight territory here for the side of Colombia to be able to have a chance going into round 3. They really need to make sure that they get some presence on point and get these ults off early, but that's going to be hard when you're dealing with the SIGs. Slam to the sky, Mix does go down. They try to go for the Flux, misses however. 90% and counting. Blizzards going on out from either side here as you're going to catch two of them. They fall, and they do have presence on point. Yuan here looking for a play, but not going to see it as Super Gomez with the Death Blossom. And the team kill there earns them a round 3. I must say, Chai, we have a game here on our hands, and I am thrilled to be a part of it. Now it's just a matter of time to see how the teams adapt here going into the third round. As we'll be seeing here, stat-wise, Canada has a lot to work with on the board there, but don't let it phase you as you still have the selections here from Colombia that really won them in the end there for round 2, clutching things on up, and that's what's really important. So now here, coming into round 3, as the teleports come out immediately here, you're going to be seeing McMahon going to be swapping on over to the Tracer here, which is a very nice selection here, especially on such a large point such as this. Just waiting, biding their time. They're trying to see if they can spot out the side of Colombia here. Canada really trying to make sure that they play it safe because they're taking this point a little bit at a time. They utilize Tracer to have that presence, but now here comes the run in here. Reaper going to be teleporting to the back line, but it's all above their heads. They're not quite sure how to handle it yet, as you just have one person on at a time. You want going to be seeing that initial presence there. Super Gomez looking to get the takedown, but not going to find it. Gets the support where needed as Morlock gets the boot. And now it's all coming together here. Canada taking that long extended team fight into their victory. Had some great presence there and big ult charge to work with there, as you're going to be seeing almost everyone over 50% or getting close to it here. These fights go fast and you must know how you position yourself. Hero barely able to dodge that rock. A very crucial moment where if they get hit, they would have gone down. And there you lose Kratos. A bad start for the side of Colombia here as they're trying to adjust. Morlock here trying to see if they can play for the wraparound. There's a rock hits right to the sternum. Oh, the Lucio here. You see, they're on the hunt. They want to get that environmental kill. They have to be careful of one another not to get booped. Does Morlock go for the elimination? No, but they get the assist there against Reaper. And it's all coming down to this. I mean, you have some great space here. You have some great cycling and communication coming in from Canada. For Colombia, it needs to be a bit more here, as you're going to be seeing. As this pulse bomb here could easily stick it to the Sig, but choosing to take their time, making sure they don't waste ults unnecessarily. Yes, you can get it back quickly as Tracer, but the idea here is to try to make sure that you make it an impossible team fight to go in against Canada here. That is the game plan here. Super Gomez going very early on a teleport. Does catch two here. The rock missing its mark as Mixv goes down. Rock from above. Hero coming down from the stars. The Blizzard comes out with the Kitsune Rush here, as you can witness it for yourselves. But I don't think it's going to be enough here. They're just struggling to get those picks. But as I said here, Super Gomez really putting in the work from behind the lines right now. Big hit there onto Tracer, needing the assistance from the rest of the Team Colombia as they start to capture into overtime. A big meat shot there, but does not register, unfortunately. The point turns over to Colombia. Whoa, with a sliver of hope in a bag full of dreams here. Let's see what Colombia has to bring forth. Rock just missing there. This could be disastrous. Cersei has the Sig trap. Beat drop comes out, but it's not there in time. Hero falls. As you're looking to see Morlock trying to get into their heads here, going back and forth, but it's not really finding the positional distraction that they were hoping for. Instead, it's going to be taken away from them. They are forced to escape very, very quickly here as Colombia is taking advantage of the chaos. Oh, and it's only going to get worse, mind you, here. As you're seeing right now, Colombia has a good foothold at the moment. Only utilizing the beat drop into that last fight, which is very valuable. Unfortunately for Canada, the same can't quite be said there. You do have Mickman there with this pulse bomb, but needs to bait out the Suzu. Suzu does get used, so this is the time for it. Pulse Bomb finds Super Gomez. As Butcher's going to be trained back U1, so that shuts down the overclock immediately. On the flip side there, Hero, however, looking to try to get into position here for a grasp. Oh, and there it is. It's finding the May. May going to be forced into the ice block as now Blizzard is employed. It's just buying time and providing the heals for Colombia to sustain themselves. Super Gomez still going to be staying on this Death Blossom here. I dare say they're coming back into the fight. Yes, they are. This is the time for utilizing it. Needs to get into spot, but trying to TP for cover. Death Blossom on top. Not going to be able to find the picks they are hoping for. And now it's all coming up to a head here. Butcher going to be the last one alive as they taking it into overtime. I don't think anyone's going to be able to make the touch here. No siree. Canada takes round number 1. Or map 1. And for your ending scoreboard here, big numbers going to be put on display, but Hero here with the play of the game. I mean, personally, not quite surprised there. Beautiful rock off the edge there against Mixv, which really shut down any hope from being able to not just move, but also react to the fight. We're going to be taking things to a quick break, folks, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back as we try to get ourselves set up for the next map selection. So we'll see you in just a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back as we are going to be getting ourselves set up for the next map here. I have the details as you are hoping for them, as they are going to be trying to see these finalized for the lineups. Let's take the time here to break down what happened. So, as you're going to be seeing here, map 1 going over to Canada in a round 3 overtime capture, as we're now going to be heading on over to Shambali. We did get an initial selection of bands, but we are still taking a look at what the hero or player selection is going to be going into Shambali Monastery. From the side of Team Canada here, I will say, you are going to be seeing some substitutions take place, and I don't believe I have a lot of time to be able to explain it, so let's see if I'm going to be quick enough to describe them while we have the time here. So we are going to be having for game 2, the bands are going to be Sigma and May, which interesting selections to be having more than likely, yes sirree. But we are going to be having some substitutions coming on in here, if I can find them. But no, these are some players, there we are. Took me a moment just getting adjusted, we will say. No? But we do have the substitutes coming on in here. Let's show them on screen. What do we have, production? So, substitutes coming on in here. You are going to be having Rodact and Amado. I am definitely going to be butchering that, so I do apologize, Ama, as that is what I am going to be calling you for short, Amaduo. And from the side of Colombia here, not going to be seeing any substitutions from their end. So I hope they have a game-winning strategy, because they're going to have to bring it on back here in this map. Well, without further ado, let's take it right to the set here. This is going to be match point territory in favor of Canada to start, unless Colombia is able to show some grit. So, going to be starting on the defense here. Has that Hazard. Very smart selection. But now going to be working with the Vendetta bubble plan here. Bit of a bubble dive. I like the idea. Execution is going to be very key here. Super Gomez trying to see if they can get some initial poke on the Cassidy there. Hearing some headshots already. So, you're seeing the value come through. But coming in from the backside here, you have the tank. Hazard is going to be caught on out. They lose Kratos here. Not a great space to find yourself in, as Cersei is now playing support as Kratos has gone over to the DPS role. Interesting set of options there, but it's only going to get more disastrous. Butcher does get the takedown there onto McMahon. And while this is going on here, you're seeing Butcher go down. The supports here trying to back on up, but they do have Kratos to able to wrap to the point as needed. Yeah, just because you can make the touch doesn't mean it's going to be the end-all be-all. I mean, take a look at this here right now, right? You're seeing that Canada is continuing their push undeterred. And it really shows that they have what it takes to just continue their efforts. As they're trying to see if they can make that touch. They're very important. But the pressure is on. McMahon going down the Butcher. Butcher's been doing a great job shutting down that venture there. Sorry, now going to be caught way out of place. This is a terrible spot to find yourself in. And yet they still sustained. Surprisingly so. But the point was captured in 5 minutes to work with. That is a big time bank for your second point escort. I mean, look at Shion here. Tons of speed, tons of space. They are just having a heyday. As we're going to be taking a look at things here. Definitely important to keep in mind how you try to position yourself. Shion has that flanker kind of role, so they're able to move very quickly. And huge shutdown capability there as you're going to be having the White Tiger unleashed. Purple Rain is into effect, but hits no targets. Cersei here very much having to play it smart. The City Rush has been activated. They're looking for a shutdown, but not going to be able to find anything there. Butcher is fighting for their very life. And mind you, the point is just around the corner here. Butcher is outnumbered and going to be outmatched, unfortunately, as Mix V goes down with him. So still 4 minutes on the clock, and if they get this point here, that's going to be an additional minute and a half. So big time bank to work with for them. Just looking for the regroup here. They only have beat drop compared to 4 ults. Grab going to be the immediate utilization there to start as you're looking for a beautiful chain down. Venture getting that cleaver, just cutting through the opposition. That's Amaduo finding 1, 2. Can we say it's a triple there? A bit of a hat trick in play. And what a send. Going to be able to get that hit marker off the bike. Gotta say, Xion, very exciting character to watch play. I mean, definitely one I would love to see in a masterclass position here from either side. But still very early on for use here. So really going to be looking at Super to try to hold things for Colombia here. It needs to be a very important play to get the critical picks needed. Venture going on down, you lose Kratos to start, and here we go, it's pure chaos, but it gets shut down by the Sanctuary. Mizuki is just too strong, and now the White Tiger unleashed into the backline with Vendetta, serving some well-deserved revenge. And just pure control of this map here as you witness it yourselves, folks. Gonna be seen here approaching the final destination for the first round. Canada is just steamrolling it. Colombia just barely able to make a stop there. Oh, and we have a bit of Widowmaker in play. Let's have some fun watching this, shall we? Gotta be loving the gladiator skin. But apparently just behind the wall. Can you get over? No. They'll get their breach back, but when you do, question is that the Lucio does take the damage, but they miss the headshot just barely where it was needed. Oh, Super Gomez gonna be going on down. Bad start there for Colombia's defense. Grav starts things up, and they're looking to see where they have to push through here. Ooh, that's going to spell disaster there for the side of Colombia. You have only just the Hazard, who's taken out in the back line, and Canada will complete the capture of third point in round number 1. Let's take a look at the mid-round scoreboard as it stands, shall we? My goodness. Amaduo here really putting in a lot of work on that Xion. I mean, they were phenomenal rushing through. But there's still another half to be had. I have to say, though, Colombia definitely struggling here, as you can see. And we have a bit of a facility I don't believe I've ever seen here in Shambhawi Monastery. A bit of an interesting start. Located deep in the heart of Nepal. As you're going to be seeing here, signs have now swapped, and there's going to be a bit of a change up here for the side of Canada. I mean, take a look at how they're going to be setting themselves up on this defense. The Pharah and the Onron, I like the idea for the close quarters and the difficulty that it is to take down a Pharah who utilizes the rooftops properly. If you play it smart, you can be a real menace here to the side of Colombia, but Colombia has the answer. The execution is what matters here the most, as Cat Bastion here could spell disaster for this Pharah if they do not play their corners right. Let's see how it all unfolds, shall we, chat, as round number 2 is underway. Oh, and immediately you're seeing the hunt there. Meekman already realizing this is not a spot they want to find themselves in. Trying to play around for this corner here. You do see Pharah is forced back immediately, having to play a lot safer as Bastion holds control of the skies. Gotta give credit there to Howard the Mixvi, providing that control of the hold there, and the healing to boot. Well, you get the card around that first corner there. Great stuff as Kratos going to be able to find the pick onto Amaduo. And now looking for the hunt into the back line there next. Hero will trade it back versus Butcher. Oh, it's only going to be getting worse here. Silent going up in a burst of flames. And Super Gomez has been doing a phenomenal job here. Going to be able to find 2 and possibly looking for a third. Great grenade there. Going to be starting up for Bastion. If they can get the takedown there onto the Soj there. Not Soj. The Amaduo. That is just what they needed. Their Butcher is on a tear, and they're taking all the space they can get. Now, mind you, Canada did have a bit more to work with on their time bank to start, but 5 minutes is still 5 minutes, even if they get just beneath it. It seems Butcher can't quite scale that wall the way they were hoping here. Oh, and now it's all coming to a head here. Tracer going to be hunting to the backline as you have Venture and Domino playing for the point. They're trying to deal with this Bastion here, but shooting straight into the sky is an extremely difficult thing to do. Hero does get the cage onto Butcher here. The kennel traps and damages through. And now Bastion ult's coming on in, looking to see who they can find in this artillery strike. Not going to be hitting the marks, unfortunately, but they will get that last blast off. Butcher going to be able to find one against Amaduo as Big Man gets the trade back. Purple Rain not going to be able to stick their spikes, and yet through this, despite all that is happening here, you are having trades back and forth, and you really got to give credit to those keeping them alive from the side. It's up to Rodak to try to make a play here. You do have your DPS back into the field here, so the Alari will be able to find the effect they are looking for off of the beacon, but is it enough is the question. And I don't think that's going to be the case, but they are wasting this time bank here for Colombia, which is frustrating them to say the least. And they will finally capture the first point. Yes, I gotta say, I am so sorry, but I am genuinely forgetting the name of this character here. She is one of the newer ones, and a little bit of a quiz for you, chat. Who is this player? Hello there, Quits. Good to have you here. So you're going to be having those grapples there. Big point here with the drone. Drone going to be going in, but not finding the picks they were hoping for. And Super Gomez gets the takedown from behind. And possibly going to be looking to see if they could sustain for their life against this Tracer. Tracer forced into a recall. Super Gomez now going to be sunstruck. And still 3 minutes to work with, so not the worst. And in fact, they were able to get the picks they were hoping for here, so it actually seems to be going fairly well. That being said, still, it's not the end of the road yet, as it's not over till it's over here. Hero now going to be swapping over to the Diva here. Big pressure for the Skies, especially against Cast Bastion, I would admit. But the Bastion here pushing on in. Diva is going to fall through the extra pressure that was put for Frey here. Now going to be off what I would dare say to be Serenity, but no, that is not the name of the character. I will get it in the halftime, folks. So for now, just cut me a little bit of slack. Oh, Lorraine hits big marks there to take down the one, but does not prioritize the Kiriko. Instead, that's going to be a TP out. Silent just able to get back, and the cat slam will force Hero off the point. No overtime touching there, and 1.5 minutes is awarded to Colombia. Well, 3.5 minutes to work with. They just want to make sure they get over 2 minutes and some change to be able to bring that almost 3-minute time bank down to a more manageable use. Oh, here we go, and already with the artillery barrage here. Best be careful. First eat. They're trying to see if they can slowly utilize it there. There's the last 2 sends, but Kratos is going to be the first to fall there. Amaduo finds an elimination off the flashbang. And Kitsune rush to meet its matches. You're going to be witnessing Canada putting forth the aggression. You still got a long fight ahead of you. It's not end all be all, but you have a lot of ults that are coming out here from Canada. I'm not quite sure it is very much needed. Instead, I think they're going a bit back over end here, but they get the defensive hold in the end here. Bastion now going to be over utilizing the tank configuration shots to see if they can try to get some big hits. Sierra, there it is. Thank you, Quits, as yes, I'm going to be looking a bit silly for this, but I don't mind. It always is a little scuffed. Oh, here it is, coming in big there. Kratos once again. See, this is the big problem for Colombia. They keep losing Kratos in the start of these fights. And when you're dealing with a diva, I dare say you gotta start changing up your strategy just a bit here. Still like the hazard, definitely gonna be having a lot of value there. But maybe, just maybe, you try to get some quicker fire, and we're gonna be seeing exactly that. Here it comes, gonna be eaten there, but no one else gonna be caught in the rain. Force back in the spawn once again. Butcher now going to be over to the Zarya. A bit of a long-ended swamp, but better late than never. Again, I'm looking at Kratos here. Needs to get these tectonic shocks off. Needs to be able to get a pick here of value, and they will find it. That's going to be 2 down against Canada there. Colombia starting to come back alive just a little bit. And this is where you're breathing life into this. Some big takedowns to start there, and even Mickman falls. Kratos, big play from the venture there. Oh, less than a minute remaining here. Canada could shut it on out, but Colombia here fighting for the overtime rounds. Big focus here. High noon going to be activated immediately, but no value to be seen. The beat drop comes in as well as Super Gomez barely kicking. And there is the takedown there. Amaduo, excuse me. Gonna be able to get the immediate pick on the Xion. I gotta say, chat, between you and me, the purple suit looks nice. Very much approve. Moving along from there, however, you're coming down to these last 20 seconds. No ultimate's going to be available except Cersei really trying to build up for that Kitsune rush. Going to be imperative that they get the value, but Diva Bomb's coming on in. Oh no! Eggman not going to be finding value today, unfortunately, as they get the touch for overtime. Oh, it's anyone's game here, folks. Whoever falls first will start that momentum. It seems that Amaduo find it on the Widow with 1, 2. Do we see a third? Doesn't matter, because Canada comes out on top. And our ending scoreboard here with play the game from Amaduo. Now, some big early picks here to be found. And Amaduo just was on a tear. Relentless in their goals. As we're going to be taking it back to yours truly here. A very quick 2-0 to see in that best of 3 series. And, you know, very good display from either side here. Great stuff that we were seeing. As we're now going to be looking to potentially move on to a round 3. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the next matches in immediately, so we're going to be heading things to a quick break yet again. So don't go anywhere. I'll see you in just a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back yet again. Welcome on back, everyone. And we're now going to be having the following two teams, Honduras versus Peru. We already have our lineups ready to go here, so let's start by introducing the teams. Coming in for the side of Honduras, you have the following five: Carlos, Meekster, Zakarma, Benja Persona, and Lunar. And from the side of Peru, you have the following: Key, Natho, Genjibri, Hermosa, and Foriak. I'm going to be butchering that name, so I do apologize. I'll try the best I can. And we are going to be looking at our first map selected here. If I am correct, I believe, if I saw it, we are heading on over to the following map here. It is going to be, from the looks of it, Nepal. Now, we do have a bit of a double up here, so apologies for that misnomer there, as we have yet to decide Escort, as well as for the bands, as we're going to be taking a look at it here. The bands here from either side, you're going to be looking at Sigma and Farah. I dare say both teams are ready and rocking to go here, so it's just a matter of time before we pull the trigger on this series. Just gonna have to be waiting by it. Make sure everything is checked on out. I believe we have everyone loaded on up into here, and I'm, for one, very excited to see what we have to bring to the table. Now, I do believe we do have a bit of a change up here from what I initially saw. There is one additional player here from the side, I believe, of Team Honduras, if I'm reading that correctly. Just looking to validate, and yes, it's going to be Angel Olagsua, who's going to be in place of a good number. In fact, I believe I see good number of different names here. Goodness. So let me just go across the board here, as we're going to be having the following starting players for the side of Honduras. From the looks of it, it is going to be Lunar Sai, Benja Persona, Angel, as I'll call them, Cell, and Daniel Mix. Interesting. We'll have to make our updates to that roster. But that'll come in due time for another day. I believe we do already have the prediction up here from the chatters, looking to see who's going to be taking home the victory now in this round 3. Still waiting to get the players on in here. It's a funny thing looking at the lobby here, because as I'm viewing it, there's no actual lobby host here. And that's the funny thing about Face. It's kind of like a built-in system for Overwatch, and it just automatically assigns players to their place. So if something gets a little gunked up in the works, that's where you start to have a little bit of a problem, right? So hopefully everything will get kind of corrected out here. We'll have to see in due time. My prediction here, I know Honduras is very good. In fact, I have a little shout out to Lynx, aka Leia, for being able to just chat with me and let me know about the team, just in a general sense, nothing specific, but that they are a very hardworking, dedicated team, and one that you do not want to underestimate. As for Peru, I don't have a lot of details on Peru themselves, but they seem like a good bunch of players. You know what? I am happy for a positive attitude any day of the week. That being said here, all I can do is try to buy some time as we figure out some sort of troubleshooting going on. I mean, if we really want to break things down here, let's take a look at these bands again, shall we? Unless we don't, because the game's going to start right on up, so let's tune right in. Welcome to Nepal, as we're going to be seeing ourselves starting here in the Sanctuary. I can't get enough of that music. Love it every single time. Just pure tranquility. That being said, here it's about to get a bit dicey as the piece is going out the window. Indeed. Yes, these teams are amped up, ready to go and showing what they've got. Let's see what they've brought to the table here. I see a traditional brawl style here in the form of a death ball from the side of Honduras. While for Peru, you're going to be seeing a bit more poke. Liking the idea of the Malga, that's going to be a great counter to the Ramatra. But dealing with the Symmetra to either side, if they decide to keep it or not, could be a wild factor. Let's see what they've got as we're going to be going right on in to this match. So, immediate swap off there onto the Vendetta. Intriguing. Let's tune it over to the other side here for Aik. Looking to try to play for a bit of poke safety here. Neither side really wants to move in quite yet. As you can see, they're waiting their time out until the team gets here. Now everyone's back from either side. It's all about who goes first here. Oh, there's a startup there. The Malga's going to be in a bit of danger, but as I say, that Benja Persona is going to be the one that falls victim. Better here, looking to see if they can cleave through their opposition here, but not finding the hits quite yet. Instead, they're going to be able to regroup with the team here as Honduras is forced to back off. Peru having that initial capture of point. Genji really having to play it smart here. Ooh, lots of damage to come on in. A bit of a now you see me, now you don't, as Angel's gonna fall. Angel Lagusa there really trying to bank on their team, but Daniel Mix and Cell all go down. As you're gonna be witnessing it right now. Definitely a bit of a tougher time to react to as you're really struggling to get yourself going, right? So with that being said here, teams I hope have themselves facing off in times of turbulation here. Some plan for execution, because the Kiriko definitely did not see that coming. That's going to be an early takedown against Lunar and Daniel Mix. Now going to be following it up there on the cell. Benja Persona is going to go next as Angel Gassa is forced to back on off. I don't know if Angel can get away, but they are definitely caught out in the open. Not going to be pushed upon, as you're going to be seeing them play for time. A lot of ults building up here from either side, but it's just been pure team fight wins that have really been helping them out. The Suzu going in with the cage, and I believe we're looking for a bit of a blender to take place, but it's not going to be finding itself there as Cell gets two. And looking to see if they can confirm the elimination there on the Key, but Key sustains. Big slam to boot, and the boop off the side, that was stupendous! With the takedown there from Nato. I don't know if anyone else is going to be able to contest here. The beat drop comes out, saves Nato for that fight as Lunar falls. It's up to Benji Persona to make the stall, but I don't think it's going to be enough. No siree, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be round one for the side of Peru. Let's take a look at our mid-round scoreboard as it stands. Very big startup there for the side of Peru, and actually a big win for them to begin with. That gives you the initiative to try to close out this map. Again, Peru, I'm seeing more of a dark horse here, as I've heard a lot from Honduras. So anything can happen. And from what I'm seeing right now, they're doing a stupendous job, a patch-up job if you will. As for the side of Honduras, really need to try to work on those engagements. Those choke points were just debilitating for them, unfortunately. And it's hard as a player, right? You're trying to make your way in, but you start to go into a sort of a pattern, and you cannot afford to allow yourself to get complacent, as that's where you start to make things very easy for your opponents to read off of the mistakes. So I'm going to start on up there, but Angela Gosa going to be the one to fall, as well as Cell. You lose your Reaper and your Lucio. It's a wrap, folks. I'm telling you what. As Key is looking to get the rest of this takedown here. Might be able to get the Soj, but nope. Gonna back out to safety. I would say, liking the Diablo skin, a bit of a bear of a time, if you will. Oh, and there's going to be your teleport to the side. Not going to be having that movement quite yet. Same thing to be said for the Reaper. Going to the back line there. Slam comes on in. A bit overly aggressive as Gingerbread. Looking to see what value they can find to the back line there. Lucio barely able to help them stay alive. But a wild projectile finds the head of Gingerbread. Faraic going to be going down with the ship here as the point will turn. Hermosa, excuse me. I am getting myself a tongue twister. Hermosa here. Gotta be looking for that initial poke. They're building up really well to this Kitsune Rush. This could be a very early fight if played properly here. Natho looking for this overclock. They're just missing those shots. Needs to hit that headshot there to get maximum value. But the Kitsune Rush from either side really going to be sparking some fires here as Beat Drop is activated. This is where you have to have a takedown here and now. And that's going to be the first on the Cell. Cell going to be losing their life. Now it's going to be Lucio and the Sojourn following up there. You only have 2 players left. They're going to look to stall, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There's Lunar taken on out in the end. And a team kill there earned by the side of Peru. Again, big value that we're seeing to start up here for the side of Peru. And what is this coming in from? They don't know. Chat, do they know? I don't think they know. But they know now. That's for certain. And just looking for that opportunity for a Death Blossom here. They see everyone and they say, you know what? Let her rip. But it's going to work in favor of Cell. Cell going to be ripping their own Death Blossom there. That finds 2 with +1 on the overclock. Maga coming in for slam. And Reaper falls victim. Key has come out of nowhere to find that pickoff. Now looking to see if they can regroup. Key barely staying alive, but it's not enough. Lunar able to get the takedown. Now I dare say Angel Lagosa definitely overplayed their hand. Big mistake there. That's going to be costing them some time for the regroup. As you're going to be seeing, Peru's going to be able to get back very quickly. Now you're really trying to get your Lucio there for the taxi, but you're already down so many people, right? You're trying to see if you can back on off. You get the double slide there just to save your life. Reaper looking to try to stall the point as long as possible. You feel like a big shot? Well, this guy certainly isn't. Unfortunately for them, they lose their life as they both DPS go down. And the third to boot. Lunar will be able to get the trade, so there could be a bit of hope, but unless they get more, that looks to be a set-all be-all. Last fight territory here, folks, for either side, especially if you go into overtime here. You have 2 ultimates available for the side of Honduras, but one only going to be online ready for the side of Peru. Key needs to be the main difference maker here for this cage, but Angel needs to be able to probably get this cage off early to lock people down. There's the cage. It's going to be a Malga face-off here as we see it, but the beat drop's going to be the difference maker there for either side. Whoever gets a big slam could get some initial value. Slam goes in. No hits to find. And they're trying to kite for their life here. A smart play for the side of Peru. Honduras will be able to push them off the point, but you're now going to be looking for the next ultimates coming online in here. That is going to be looking at the Reaper, and that's going to be the tank going on down. First one going, next one into the boot, and the Death Blossom tears through. As they're going to be looking for those final takes. Daniel Mix finds one, make that 2. Could we see a hero play here? Oh, but it's not enough. Some burning value to start. The tanks are going to duke it out yet again here. Key not going to be able to sustain for themselves. Honduras back by the very tip of it all. With 5% in counting here, the touch will be achieved here by the side of Peru just to get the overtime. That buys them a little bit of time here to re-engage as they taxi back the tank. Death Blossom is in, so looking for some hits, but no one's going to give them the time of day. They do lose the Lucio, the knockdown against the tank, but Key is just not going to be able to handle the pressure coming in. And there you have it, folks. We are heading to round number 3. Now we have a bit of a game on our hands here, wouldn't you say, as we're going to be taking a look at the next mid-round half scoreboard here. Big turnaround there. I mean, lots of numbers that you started to get put up there by Daniel when it was looking very dicey early on. Now, I do see we are selecting here the Juno for the side of Honduras. Probably going to be trying to go with double speed because they think they need to move quicker into their opponents than they can be moved upon. I like the idea, but execution is key here. So if it gets sloppy and people separate, that's where you start to break down. And the teleport there, the start immediately back over to the Reaper. Both sides get to place pretty evenly. And Daniel Mix going down again the initial of this fight, making things very difficult for the side of Honduras to get the initial cover that they are hoping for. Point's going to be opening on up here as they look to wrap. And here it goes. Coming in for the slam, but no hits. The point begins in control of Peru. Zuzu comes out just in time there to help sustain, but Cell makes them think twice. Getting a little bit chaotic here into the back. He not going to be able to play for their life as the point turns immediately just after 10%. Ideally here for the side of Honduras, it's going to be maintaining this high ground and keeping your opponents at bay. For Peru, it's going to be about quick rotations, quick engagements, and catching people by surprise. I mean, you already see the stack up into the room here. They're saying, we saw the orb already. Now it's time to move very, very quickly. Trying to make their way to the teleport, but just too far away. That's a little bit of a downside for this perk here that Reaper has that shortens your teleport length, but it makes it quicker when the action is pulled. And they are just tearing through to the back line there. You're going to be losing 2 for the side of Peru. But they trade one back thanks to Not, though, who goes down themselves. Could see a takedown here on the point from Hermosa. And they do just that with a teleport to escape. A great start up there despite losing the Reapers from either side right now. Trying to see if they can make their way back. Lucio may look to taxi, but that does not seem to be the case. Now going to be looking to contest this point here. Just waiting for the opportunity to rush on in. Beat drop is ready. Double cage coming in, and it goes, but it's too late to save the Malga for this side of Honduras. Genji Bree is now on a tear. Finding 2, making that a third, and a double kill there. What a takedown, and they're not done yet. They find it in the end. Well, that's going to be turning the point over now in control of Peru, but they have a lot to make up for here. Honduras has been a cornerstone of an example of never giving up. And look at this, already going to be looking for this off angle here with Looter. Oh, and that's going to be your first victim there. But the Death Blossom into the back, does it find the hits they were hoping for? Not quite there. As you've seen, Peru does a bit of a 180 in position here. Point now comes over in control of Honduras. Peru's hand is going to be forced to make the touch. He needs to get into position. They are there, slam hits, but not in the way they were hoping. You're into overtime now, and it's pure pandemonium. Double takedown there, almost finding the Reaper, who's looking to sustain. Genji Bree has been pivotal in order to make sure that they can get these ults ready. Oh, and now the Kitsune Rush is only going to make things even worse here, forcing your team on back. You're going to be losing Angel as the rest need to regroup. Very, very scrappy fight, but you know what? It goes the way of Peru to be able to stay alive here. Honduras looking to try to see if they can build up to these support ults. It's going to be very pivotal for Benja to be able to get that beat drop. Now, Nato, on the other hand, coming in from above here, has the overclock. Could really deal some high damage once activated here with the 150 overclock. And there's the first takedown there. The Lucio goes down! They lose the ability for the beat drop there when they need it the most. It's up to Reaper here, who needs to live. Getting Hunter from Lucio from behind. Not many options left as they fall. Ladies and gentlemen, Peru takes map number 1. And going to be having your ending scoreboard as the following here. Playing the game from Key. I mean, they had some great value here. The cage lockdown separating the team from helping one another. Well, you have it there, folks. It is an immediate 1-0 on the board here, going into a round 3 as we're going to be seeing it. And I mean, there was some great plays coming out from Peru there. I mean, really looking at Key, at Natho, and really got to be given credit over probably to Hermosa, being able to provide that extra healing and initiation for the team to really push through. Well, while we're going to be having our next selections here, let's take a look at what they will be. We already have our lock-in for the map here, and that is going to be the following from the looks of it. Shambali Monastery selected there. And Peru is going to be on the attacker side to start with our immediate hero band that is coming on out here on Malga. I'm not too surprised with the Malga pick. Malga's been very, very strong here on these openers for controls. So when you move into Shambali Monastery with the ability for an escort, I definitely could see the utilization of the chaos ensuing. Now, we don't know the second band quite yet, as it just went in immediately. No substitutions going to be coming in here for the side of Peru. They are keeping to the same players. As for the side of Honduras, still looking at those changes there, I must say. From So, Lunar Sky, Benji, Angel Lagosa, I should say, is the other one. And there is your second ban. It is going to be Mizuki from the side of Honduras. So the Mizuki, interesting selection, but a good one, as we're going to be loading in to Shambali Monastery. Take it all in, ladies and gentlemen, as we meet the monastery here once again in the heart of Nepal. I haven't moved quite far enough. If we take a good look, you may be able to spot the monastery from here, as there's the top of Nepal, right where we just were. Just a little further down the mountain. Oh, that being said here, these two teams definitely giving us a lot for the show. A run for our money, if you will. And I think the most important thing between them all is how they try to balance each other out. Remember, we still have 3 more rounds of matches for tonight. It's going to be a long one here from the looks of it alone. Once we go into next weekend specifically, definitely going to be trying to see for the longer matches but fewer of them. And as doors open, teams are ready and raring to go. Here, an interesting support lineup here to start from the side of Peru, but already going to be swapping off of the Zenyatta for the Kiriko. Understandably, listen, I love a good Zen. Zen actually very much a good OG for any sort of pro play. Oh, but that takedown by Daniel going to be putting in the work. Formosa, they're looking for the trade against Lunar Sky. And it's going to be even across the board to start. But the pressure is on Peru to take this high ground here, as you're seeing. Zarya trying to make their way forward. And they are going to be taking this space here. Angel once again going down. See, this is the hard thing here. Losing your tank so early on is pretty disastrous for Honduras. Having to forcibly back off each fight just because you guys cannot sustain is going to bite you in the long run. So if I'm Honduras right now, I'm thinking to myself, hey, we need to either support our team or we need to take theirs down before they take us out. And we're not quite seeing that execution done properly there for Honduras. They're definitely going to have to try to adjust slightly here. Oh, an immediate reaction there, almost getting the takedown onto the Pharah, as the Karma here looking to duke it out with the Emery. Very dangerous situation, but one they come out on top of. But through that fighting, you had so many people focused on the Emery to the side that they ignored the point itself. Not a great situation to find yourself in, I must say, as you are now going to be working with 4.5 minutes to get to the second checkpoint. And mind you, no ultimates have been utilized here from either side. Angel might have been trying to work up to Armatra, but I don't think they even had Annihilation ready to go. Instead, I dare say that they unfortunately just went down too quickly before they could even properly vote it up. So we're going to have to try to see a turnaround here. That's the other thing. When you're working with this poke-like DPS, you're really relying on how your team pushes with you. Tide Turner there catches the Ramatra there, which stalls out the Tide Burst, as we're going to be seeing it, and it's going to be Peru that immediately kites the fight. 3 minutes to work with here and change. Yeah, they're going for a very standard kind of playstyle with this Reaper here. I mean, if it's not broken, no need to fix it. And immediately they're going to try to rotate here. Definitely have to be careful about this Pharah. She's been doing a lot of poke damage. Oh no. Things can go from bad to worse real quick. And that's going to be the case right here right now. Got to be able to find two there for the start of that fight. Pushing into the back line there. Looking for the takedowns. Zakarma really doing a great job there at the start. Almost getting the Lucio, but not quite in the end. They'll live to tell the tale. And that's what you really like to see there from your team. You get to really witness how they set up for these fights and what a game changer these ultimates have on the game. Good players always going to have a forefront into fights, especially when you get the takedowns, but ultimates really putting those nails in the coffin. So you have your Annihilation here. Good setup. Teleporting right in front. The Death Blossom going to be wasted as Benja just washes it away. Sorry here, definitely going to be trying to play for their life. They're alone, so they do not have a lot of support here to work with. They get a trade, however, which surprisingly allows them to get some space, but the Annihilation is tearing into the backline. Angel Lagosa here really putting in the damage they're looking for. And now, given the card has moved back far enough, they need to push it up to the corner once again before they can get into the team fight in place. You do have now your swap over to the Echo here. Your flex DPS really trying to see if they can either help with the front line or with the flank, and either side not doing a great job here keeping each other in check quite yet, but the Emery ult is coming in for the shots. Missing the Sojourn. There's a pivotal one that you need to finish. Almost gonna find it, but not quite. Kiriko here looking for the takedown. Can you get it? Yes, you do. As the tank stays alive, they're looking to try to see if they get that takedown there. And they find it in the end, but at what cost there? Remember, they had roughly 4.5 minutes to start that push. Now going down to 2.5. And big wrap up there as you're going to be seeing against the Pharah. Now, if you can continue this snowball effect, you can really put some pressure here onto Honduras. Crew here really keeping a strong head on their shoulders, not getting deterred here in the fight, but they are down to just one ultimate. This is a big opportunity here for the side of Honduras to try to look for an early pick to stagger any sort of play. And that's the start that you have, the grab, but the barrage here to match. Trying to just play for their safety here, as you can see it. Will be able to make the trade in the end. Oh, Lunar having a bit of a spicy play there that we just saw. He now going to be swapping over to the Diva. Like the idea there. Both sides playing the Echo in order to match each other. And now you're going to be looking at here with 1.5 minutes. A lot of plays going to be starting on up. That first one going to be the Kasune rush here to boot. As Ramatra looking to see who they can find, but they immediately kite it out. The Kasune rush will come to a close here, as now Peru looks to re-engage. Oh, this could prove disastrous here. Genjibri now on the Ramatra here. You have another tank on the field working up to that annihilation. If they can sustain it, no, not going to be the case today. Duking it out to the skies there. Both DPS is going to be falling here for the side of Honduras, so this invites an early turnaround here, as Angel will go down. Coming down to the last touchers. Karma runs into a wall, barely there in time, but not enough. You hate to see it, folks, as that was an immediate gone. Looking at our mid-round scoreboard here. Very close across the board here overall. Daniel Mix did a ton of work on the Pharah there. I mean, between them, with Zakarma on the Pharah and Daniel Mix on the Soj, they were really putting it to the man. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to stop the push in time. As you can see here, with just under 30 seconds remaining, it's a win condition here for Peru to shut things off in the third round of Copa de America. It seems other games have already come to a conclusion here, so we might do the same here momentarily. We will just have to see. That being said, more to come here. We're looking at how these lineups here are going to be trying to play for their execution. Definitely keeping an eye there onto Dino Mix. You have the Widowmaker, and something about the Widowmaker here. If you try to play it just right, you could find a really nice pick early on. But is that what they're going to stick to? No, not going to be the case. They're going to be on Freya. Starting it with the Zen, but immediate swap back for them as well, as we can see. Right over to Lucio. Lucio for either side definitely had a lot of value. But it's an interesting thing here because you have both sides forcing the Wu Yang defensively. I see its great use. A lot of long distance, a lot of burst ability, and remote healing here that applies like a Zenyatta, but sticks longer. And I think that's what really helps out. See if they can get those hits. They're not quite finding it. As for the side of Honduras here, just looking to try to make this immediate capture of the high ground. pushing their way on in. Big pressure onto the back line there. Daniel Mix will find Not, though. Make that 2. Daniel Mix is on a tear and looking for the 3rd. No, not going to quite find it as they were hoping. But they have their position marked. They understand they're towards the far side. Just missing the shot there. Getting a little bit of performance anxiety, you could say. See, but here's a bit of a key difference here. While you saw from the side of Honduras forced back because they lost their tank very early, Peru is not in the same boat. They're able to kite a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently, which makes this a lot better situation for them to work. They're playing it very careful not to get caught up by this diva. It's the right thing to do to make sure that you play for your life. You cannot afford to lose this mech. But Ram does not have such luxuries. They only have 1 life. If they fall, that's it. But no contest here from the side of Peru. That will award just 13 additional seconds than what Peru had on their first round attack. Big sweep going to be coming on out there. And the ante to follow it up. Hermosa, unfortunately, will not sustain their fight. Come from behind there, Angelo Lagosa. I just completely butchered that. But the Ramatra there found a quadruple kill. If anything, that has got to be play of the game. Just unfortunate we not get to see it with our own eyes. Nonetheless, still a big time bank to work with. Got a couple of ults on the board for Honduras, but 3 available for Peru. Make that 4. And you're looking at the recipe for annihilation here. Ooh, what a quaint takedown there. He is on a roll in the backline with the Nano, but they cover their Ana to make sure Ramatra does not get the final say. This is where you're going to have your regroup here coming in from the side of Honduras. Big thing for them is the ability to kind of change up their strategy on the attacker's side. You have that Tracer there that can really poke around on these off angles here where they're least suspected. And that's where you're looking at the initial here. Ramatra into the backline here off of Copy. Needs to decide, do you commit to that chase or not? And Ramatra there, big ante coming on out. That could be disastrous for them. It proves to be just so. That annihilation finds no value for Lagusa. But for the side of Genjibri, they get their marks. So Tracer here is lost in the back line. Not a whole lot of options to work with. I mean, you take a look at this, right? You see they're being kept in check. No one has been taken out, so they can't quite spawn camp anyone. It's going to be a heavy reliance on the team to get into position. And this is where I would really keep an eye on Daniel Mix. This Bolo could be very pivotal for Karma to push into. They need to work together and communicate to make it happen. Going to be swapping their positions here. Already seeing it. If Zakarma could build up to a pulse bomb, that would be the name of the game here. But not though. Not going to be seeing that Bolo to the face. Instead, they zone it out with the overclock there. Almost finding the Lucio as well. Just trying to play for safety and their life. Daniel Mix will be able to find Genjibri. As you're now going to have the follow through. Diva now receiving the Nano. Going into the backline there. Key finding the takedown, and the focus fire gets value. Ana here not going down the way they were hoping, and Tracer unfortunately not going to be finding that elimination. A minute 30 remains. Peru still holding strong here in the second point. And I would dare say you need to start really kind of team planning these fights here. Daniel Mix now going to be over to the Sojourn here. And I would be really interested in this Juno. You have the Juno orbital cannon here to be able to utilize here going into the fight. Should be able to go through that wall if they try to force it through. Could save their Diva if needed. Sleep comes out. Not going to really find anyone. However, they did take down Daniel Mix to start that fight. Kiriko forced the teleport. And you're under a minute. A complete retreat call coming in from the side of Honduras. separated and a bit anxious there. Lucio is sent to the back line, but Angel not quite down and out. In fact, they were able to get a takedown themselves against Foraic. And they're looking to see who else they can find here. They're building up for the Annihilation here. If they can get rid of the Diva mech, that will be imperative. They're just playing for sustain at the moment, however. Hopes build up for a Kasune rush here. And I think we have a bit of a sneaky situation going on. Check out Genji Bree trying to play around this corner here. Immediately full commits, but is traded back by Daniel Mix. Seems they were not planning to get cooked, but unfortunately for them, that's how it goes. Point is pushing in overtime. And despite best efforts, you can see it immediately goes down away from their standards. Push up into the earth, so no remech available as a minute and a half is awarded to the side of Honduras. Yeah, Honduras here, you're looking at your end goal. The golden box is right over there. You need to make it in order to stay alive in this series, even into overtime rounds. And now you're going to have some more swaps coming on in here. Key going over to the Hazard. Like the idea there. Bit of Prince of Chaos, if you will. On the flip side here with the overclock, not though. Trying to utilize that nano properly. Unfortunately, it does not get any picks, but the pulse bomb makes up for it, taking down one. It's a complete zoning here. Pulse bomb missing its mark. It was very critical. Unfortunately, not finding those hits. But Benja Persona going to be able to get the trade there against Hermosa. As you're left with Juno playing for their life. We're down to 30 seconds now. Similar time bank to the side of Peru. It is all or nothing. No ultimates are available for Peru here. Can we see a touch? Hazard makes it there with the bunny hop. Gets rid of the Lucio to start here. Trying to see if they can take down the Ramacha. Ramacha barely hanging on to a thread here, but it is pandemonium. They are trying to get the pickoffs here for trades, and it looks like it's going to be going in favor here of Peru. Just looking for that last pick there to Lunar. Benji Persona here. Left alone. There you have it, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, Peru finishes it off. What a great showing that we had there tonight with your ending scoreboard to boot. And play of the game here going to be earned actually by Daniel Mix. I said it before, but a good play is what leads you to success. Unfortunately for Honduras, not quite the way they were hoping. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is going to be it from us here tonight, unless there's any extra matches to be had. So checking with the organizers here to see if there is any further matches to be had. Otherwise, I've had a blast for day one qualifiers here, and there's still more to take place. We've only gone through rounds 1 to 3, mind you. So I would say there is more to come. But for the time being, you do have one team going into the third map here from the looks of it. And that's going to be Team USA versus Canada. So, fourth round's going to start tomorrow at the same time of 9 p.m. Eastern Designated Time. So be sure to tune in that. Unfortunately, I will not personally be around as I have other commitments, but you will definitely see me Sunday. But enough yammering from me. Let's take a look here at what I believe is going to be, from my guess, who has the United States versus Canada match? That is what I'm really curious about here. We'll have to see in just a moment if I can find it. And for your United States versus America, that is going to be Mega Ninja. So let us give them a good old raid for those of you that are still sticking around and watching, and be sure to support one another. I'm Sominomi. I'll be seeing you all next time. Stay frosty.